Joining us now is Michael Thomas Perone, and he has brought 3 of his books with him. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you for having me.
Good. Nice to meet you. We got a chance to talk on the phone. I
Yeah.
got to learn about your background and how people in your family discovered that you had this writing ability. And here we are with these beautiful books in front of me. This first one is called The Electric God and Other Shorts. Okay, so Michael Thomas Perone, tell us about this first baby.
Yeah. So I always wanted to put together a collection of my best short stories I've written over the years, but I was afraid that the reader was going to be ping-ponging back and forth between different themes. This theme is very important to me. So I read dozens of short stories I've written over the years, and I picked my 6 favorite ones, read those back, and then by dumb luck or sheer coincidence, I found out that the stories have almost the exact same theme, and that's of a sane person trying to survive in an insane world. In many ways, I've always viewed myself that way, and it came out in my writing. So even though it's a book of short stories, the stories flow together, and it reads like a novel. Another theme of the book is my fear of technology taking over the world.
Okay.
And these stories were written in the 90s before that actually happened. And the first story, the story that the book is named after, The Electric God, actually predicted a few things. It predicted screens being installed into the dashboards of cars. It predicted remote learning via the screen. And it predicted binge watching. And those things weren't really around in the 90s. So even though I wrote these stories decades ago, I still feel they're very relevant today. And the critics agree. You can see the sticker there. I recently won an award, first place in the 2024 Firebird Book Awards in the category of short stories, so I was happy about that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's really nice. So when you do get those accolades, then you're able to add something to
Yeah,
your
they
cover.
send you stickers. And
Wow, that's lovely. So this is your which book?
Third.
Third book.
Yeah.
Okay, just the one that we're presenting first, but
Okay.
it's your third that you've written.
Yeah, it's more
Okay, so
recent.
what year was this?
Last
created?
year.
Last year.
Yeah.
So this is fresh.
Yeah.
Fresh
Right
off the press.
presses.
I was gonna say, wait, Michael Perone, I might even smell the ink.
Ah,
Yeah, it's fresh off the press.
Yeah.
That's the one nice thing that I do love about books is that they're tangible. You know, you could nothing
I'm old
wrong
school.
with
I
like
need a book.
yeah, I am too. I know a lot of people read them, you know, like read it on Kindle and other ways. But I still, for some reason, I just love a book. I love the spine. I know not to break the spine. I know to use a bookmark. You know, like I know not to dog-ear the pages of a book, right? So like there's a way that you should have respect for the printed book, and that's this. So
feel the same way.
congratulations.
Oh,
and
thank you.
I'm happy that you won. Okay, so
thanks.
now this one is Danger Peak, also a winner by
Yes.
Michael Thomas Perone. So this won the Book Fest. So tell us what's we're in
Yeah,
store
that
for as a
won
reader.
in the category of young adult action and adventure.
Okay.
For the fall 2022 Book Fest Awards. So Danger Peak, basically, it's about a brave 13-year-old boy who wants to climb and defeat a supernatural mountain that killed his older brother the year before. So in order to do that, he decides to build a superpowered motorbike with the help of his 2 best friends and their eccentric technology teacher. And the hook of the book is, what's on top of Danger Peak? There's something special at the top of the mountain, but to find out what it is, you have to read the book. So that's my 15-second pitch. The book is also like a love letter to my childhood and the 80s. I grew up in the 80s, so it's chock full of fun 80s references. And even though it's a young adult novel, I've had adults come up to me and say how much they enjoy the book because they also grew up in the 80s. It reminded them of their childhood. And I'm excited that it's going to be an audiobook released later this month. But it's not just going to be some guy reading it. It's going to be filled with sound effects. So picture like the action bike powering up. It's going to be filled with synth-heavy music, like 80s-inspired music. So it's going to be a truly immersive cinematic experience. And it's as close to Danger Peak, the movie, as you can get for now.
Okay. All right. So it might be like a little bit before the actual movie. Would you like to see this made into a movie?
Of course, yeah.
You would.
Who wouldn't?
I know, and it has all the right elements.
Oh yeah, I probably shouldn't say this, but
Okay.
I watch more movies than I read books. So a lot of
Okay.
people told me that it reads like very cinematic, like it's, you know, they could picture the movie in their head when they're reading it.
Lovely. And you know, before television, that's what radio was. Radio had, like you said, all those sound effects.
effects, yeah.
My first job in the industry was actually picking out music and sound effects for radio and television
that's cool.
commercials. And you know, we had this like Hanna-Barbera, it had this sound that was like a bone crunch, right?
Yeah.
It had all these really crazy
footsteps
things.
going
Footsteps, yeah. It had like all these crazy sounds, right? But we would laugh, and if we couldn't find something, you know, we would actually like create something. Like what is
Foley,
the sound? Right, exactly. We were doing Foley artist type of work back then. So this sounds really exciting. So it's Danger Peak. And an event, this is an adventure.
Oh, absolutely.
And these
yeah.
are shorts.
Those are short stories, yeah.
But with a theme.
Yeah, about madness and technology taking over the world.
Okay, and Deja vu.
Yeah.
This is how I actually have deja vu.
Yeah.
Did you
Right
know
now?
that? No, not at this moment. Well, maybe. Let me see. Have we met before, Michael?
On the
All
phone.
right. Michael Thomas Perone. All right. So tell me about deja vu.
Yeah, so Deja Vu, it's a little darker actually than Danger Peak. It's about a 12-year-old boy named Bobby who doesn't want to grow up. All his life he's relied on the imaginary games of childhood with his two best friends. But then he graduates elementary school, goes to junior high. The 80s become the 90s. His friends start drifting away from him, joining other cliques. And he starts feeling lost and out of place. And out of desperation, he convinces his best friends to bury a time capsule to commemorate the end of the 1980s. But once he does that, he starts being haunted by ghostly doppelgangers of himself, his friends, and others. He calls them deja vu. He has to figure out if these visions are real or if he's slowly losing his mind in order to survive his childhood. So I warned you, this one was darker than Danger Peak.
Okay.
As far as the themes, what inspired me to write the book, when I was growing up, it felt like people around me were becoming different people. My family suddenly seemed strange. I was wondering what I was doing with them. My friends, like Bobby, were drifting away from me, joining other cliques. I myself, like everyone else, was going through puberty and changing. So in Bobby's world, the people in his life are literally becoming other people. That was the sci-fi metaphor I was going for. It won the 2024 Spring Book Fest Award in the category of coming of age. And it was also a finalist of the 2024 Eric Hoffer Book Award.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is absolutely wonderful. So now that you have these, right? What is on your desk? Are you writing? Do you continuously write every day, Michael?
Well,
What's your process?
It's kind of hard because I got a full-time job, I got a family, but
Okay.
you try to squeeze in that time. It's an obvious thing to say, but a writer writes. And every time I finish a book, I'm like, that's it, I'm done. I don't want because there's so much. I'm sure it's so much work, doing it, and also the promotion. No offense, but when after like so much time passes, you're like, you miss it, you miss writing, and you go back to it. So I'm actually working on another book right now.
Lovely.
Which is,
Any hints?
Yeah,
Okay.
the weird thing is like my books are based on my school experiences. So even though Danger Peak takes place in early junior high, it's really based on experiences I had in elementary school, running around the town on my bikes, playing Nintendo, the death of my brother. Deja Vu, obviously, it's about junior high. I mentioned what that's about, growing up and moving on to junior high. And Electric God, even though it's short stories, is how I felt in high school, feeling out of place and out of touch, feeling like an alien. My next book is going to be about college. And I'm running, I didn't go to grad school, so I'm running out of schools to mine
Oh, you might
material
have
for.
to sign up
Yeah.
for grad class,
I was
Michael, for
thinking
more
that. Well, I need
material.
another book. But it's a bit of a risk because the new book has nothing supernatural in it, unlike all my other books. And there's also some romance in there. As I said, it's based on my experiences in college. So I'm going to take the rest on it. I'm going to write it anyway, see what happens, see if I can get another word out of this one.
They say write about what you know.
Yeah.
And in just in this conversation, I picked up on something. Did you lose a brother in real life?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, Danger Peak, he's trying to defeat this mountain that killed his older brother the year before. So, it's actually based on a short story I wrote in, 1988 when I was a kid. It was shortly after my brother died. And I guess I was trying to, defeat that disease, that mountain that killed him. That was the inspiration for that book. I wanted to honor my brother. And if you look at the dedication page, the first two words for Stephen. So.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you.
I did not realize that until we were just sitting here. So
Yeah.
I appreciate you sharing that with us.
Thank you for having me.
They say write about what you know,
Yeah.
and it can be very cathartic and very
Oh,
helpful.
absolutely, yeah.
So I'm sure that people, whether they've gone through a similar challenge or tragedy in their family, are going to still get something out of your book. So
Yeah, that's the
thank
hope.
you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
It was lovely to meet you.
Well, same here.
Michael Thomas Perone. Thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate you, sharing your story. So even if someone hasn't gone through the exact same challenge, I'm sure that they're going to enjoy your books because we all go through challenges, and I'm sure it's very relatable. So thank you for taking your time here to celebrate your talent with us. We really, truly enjoyed the visit. So
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And if you're an author or you have something that you want to write, please just start, begin today. And if you can, please go to Michael Thomas Perone's website so that you could order these books. Be well.